I don't know if you noticed, Stu's winter coat came in and he's feeling a little festive.
Where the heck did you get that? That's pretty awesome.
Time, so he wrote himself a little holiday book, A Very Screaming Goat Holiday.
Wow, that's intense. That's crazy. Good for Stu. Good for Stu. I'm glad to see he's made it. So we've got Charlie's with us this week, but he's on location, huh?
That is correct. Pearl of the Mississippi, Muscatine, Iowa.
Yuck. You missed all the fun here, all the cars sliding around and
I
buses
was
getting
getting
stuck and
updates from the family, but I'll tell you, all of a sudden here we don't have snow. But when I walked out of the office today, the weather had changed dramatically, and we have like 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Every
oh
once
yeah,
in a
we
while,
got
it
that
sounds
too.
like the wall next to me is going to come down.
Oof. Are you on the 13th floor?
No.
Okay, well that's good. All right. Well, yo YouTube, welcome back to another live. We've got the Charlie and the Stu with us tonight. A shot solo last week. I think it went okay. So it's good to know that each of us can kind of take a solo if we have to do it. Hopefully that won't come up very often, but um, you know, stuff happens, right?
You never know. Life
You
happens.
never know. Life happens. That is for darn sure. All right, so couple topics tonight. Of course, we're gonna do some chat. That's the big highlight of the show for sure. Uh, I think it's louder than that. It's more like this.
Yeah. It's more like Gator Chat.
Yeah, exactly. So couple topics tonight, if we get to them, as we all know, it's kind of a shoot from the hip here. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the national coming up. They've started to put some more stuff out there, and find out what everybody's plans are for that, if you have plans for that. Talk a little bit about maybe some over the weekend holiday sales and sort of that switch that flips almost instantly to um, football and basketball sales. Um, and that switch flipped again. It hasn't failed me yet. So kind of talk about that a little bit, and then a little bit about the GOAT Show, which of course is coming up January 12th, 2025. Gearing up for that. We got our autographed helmet. Ooh, let me go grab that. Hold on.
Oh, the autographed helmet. Folks, you are going to like this. This is sharp. Now, it is a Packers legend. So if you're not up on your Packers, you might not know this player, but it is a pretty cool mini helmet style. I haven't seen a lot of these. I think it's pretty sharp. Lunar Eclipse, right?
Yep, this is the Lunar Eclipse version. So it's kind of a matte white, and then the gold and dark green on the logo, and then of course the Mohawk is green and gold. Nice green Sharpie there from the Sharp Auto. Now, this is kind of timely because I don't know if you saw it today, but Sterling Sharp made it into the, what do they call that? The senior voting for the Hall of Fame. And I think there's pretty good odds he could get in. I mean, the guy, what was tough for him was he didn't quite get to put up the numbers that I think he would have put up due to injury. He was on that path, to being that great, but big neck problems and just basically had forced to retire really early. But yeah, obviously huge in Green Bay. If he makes the Hall of Fame, that's another added big deal for him there. So we're excited to be able to give that one away. That'll be fun. And we did get some holiday baseball packs to give away to the kids. So we've got our pack giveaways started. We're gonna get some more stuff, but that was the one that we've added so far. We've got a holiday. Is that a mega box, or what do they call those? Are those mega boxes?
I think it's a mega box. Yeah.
I don't. Does Tops and Panini, do they all call them the same thing? Is it all Fat Pack, Mega Box,
I don't
Blaster?
think so. They probably,
Hmm.
they can't call Refractor and Prism the same thing, so they got to call their packaging something different as well. It's all trademarked, Adam. It's all proprietary.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this is what it is. So we've got a box of holiday packs that we'll be handing out. There is, of course, the box topper ornament in here too. So maybe we'll give that out as just an extra drawing prize or something to that effect. We'll see.
Wouldn't it be nice if all the card companies just rebranded their refractor cards as just shiny cards?
That's kind of what we call them anyway.
I know.
Um, yeah, maybe someday we'll see. I don't know. Now that Fanatics basically runs anything, they can call it whatever they want. So
Yeah, pretty much.
we'll see how things shake out in the future. So anyway, that's kind of the details for the Goat Show. Charlie and I are going to be doing a demonstration of Card Dealer Pro, with some front-facing monitors and things like that, so people can see what we're doing. I think that'll be fun. Card Dealer Pro is going to be sending us some assistance tools for that. I requested some of these. The standard envelope rules for shipping, and then the kind of the scanning and Card Dealer Pro process is on this side of the card. And then this is the tips for the 8170 for setting up your scanner and stuff. And then, of course, the Card Dealer Pro information on the other side again. So got some of that already. They're going to be sending us some additional things. I don't know what we're going to get. I hope it's something cool. I told them I want a Collex hat. So Collex hat.
Flex.
Collex. So we'll see what comes from that. We've definitely got some tables booked. We have a few tables left. So if you're interested in a table, let us know. You can message me or the Green Bay Goat Show. I always forget the email address. Hold on, it's right here.
Yeah, and I don't have the flyer handy with it. I don't have any of my files either.
You can email us at the goatcardshow@gmail.com. Here's the flyer. Not that you can read any of that from there, but the Goat Card Show at Gmail. If you want a table or you want any more information or you want to know what's going on there, let us know. All right, so that's it for the Goat Show. Let's talk a little bit about holiday sales and how our sales went.
There was a holiday?
There was. It was a turkey day. It was just a turkey. It was an eating day.
Yeah, pretty much.
My sales were pretty gangbuster, even more robust than I thought they'd be. I kind of helped. I had some extra promotion for my store on eBay as well as through some Google search terms. So I think that helped me push me up a little bit. I've been getting comments from viewers and a couple of people in the Discord. Hey, I saw your store on the eBay page or whatever. So, and any additional exposure you can add. I did a couple sales. Did you do any sales over the holiday? Did you do anything additional, or just kind of wrote it out?
I did. I mean, I had normal sales like Thanksgiving Day. Friday after, that was actually my lowest day out of the past 6 days. But then it came back strong, and the last few days have been really good.
What did you have out there for offers? Did you do like a Black Friday sale or?
I didn't do anything special.
Okay. Yeah, that might have played into that a little bit too. So one of the things that I did that I think I'm going to do going forward at different periods of time too, to try to help clear out some older inventory, is to do a 25. I did a 25% off inventory sale. Single cards didn't matter, and the thing I like about that is it would only apply to the inventory I currently had on there. So anything as I was listing it and stuff like that, it doesn't apply to that.
Okay.
So it's kind of a good way to just move some older inventory. It's kind of like enlisting sell similar. It just pops a discount on it right away. Just to get some more eyes on it and stuff. And I sold a whole bunch of stuff. I sold a bunch of wild card cards that have been sitting around forever. Just all kinds of stuff. So I feel like that really helped. Then you have to do kind of had to do a bulk discount too, right? And you always want to have that as well. So I had a coupon out there as well. But I had pretty extremely high sales. I think Thanksgiving Day was my best day, and that was probably the best day I've ever had.
Oh, really?
And so yeah. For orders, number of orders, not for dollars. I didn't sell anything high dollar. I didn't sell any $1,000 cards or anything like I have in the past. Those you get $1,000 sale. It's pretty easy to put that on the top sales day in a hurry for what we do. For what we do. So, but what I liked about it was I had just gone to the Madison Card Show, which I'm still putting that video together. I was hoping to have it out today. It didn't get done, but it's almost done. I'll put it out tomorrow. But I bought a bunch of stuff at the Madison Card Show, jersey cards and cheap autos and stuff like that, and I sold a ton of it already this weekend. So I was really pleased with that. Get those quick turnarounds. It's nice when you give a discount, but you don't have much effort into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you pass that savings. So let's say, I bought a card on Sunday. It was scannable. So it got on, it was real quick and easy to put on eBay. So let's say I bought it on Saturday. I scanned it in a batch on Monday, and it sold on Thursday. So okay, yeah, I dropped
That's nice.
25%. Yeah, I dropped 25% on the sale price, but I got it out of there right away. It's in, it's out, it's over. So um, I think I'm going to try to do some more of that as time goes on. Just as your listing starts, when you have 60,000 listings, so this is what I'm going to tell you guys that don't have 60,000 listings yet, which I think is probably everybody who's watching this. You're going to have stuff that's been sitting there for a bit, and you're not really going to know what it is. It's almost impossible. So I felt like it was just a really nice way to let's just motivate this stuff to get out. And then that way, if somebody wanted a single card, they could get a single card. If they wanted a bulk discount, had a coupon they could use to get that. And it just really helped move a lot of stuff, which was good. So I was at 58,400 something, and I had dropped just under 58,000 over those 2 days.
Okay.
Thursday and Friday. No, 3 days. No, 2 days. Thursday and Friday. Well, probably a little bit of Wednesday too, because it was whatever after I did orders on Wednesday through Thursday. So I was pretty pleased with that. You have to kind of screw around with different things, I think, to test the waters out a little bit and see what
For
goes. Sure. I got a ton of new followers. I think I got like 80 some new followers in the past week. So there's good value in that. A lot of repeat buyers as I usually have. Not that many promoted sales. It was about half promoted sales, half organic or self-clicked individuals. That's one nice thing about getting your store promoted on the front page too. If they click on that, anything they buy is not promoted because it's going directly through your store link. So I think I got some extra sales from that, and then those were not charged promotional fees.
Right, which is a plus.
Right, exactly. Especially if if you're hitting any of those higher percentages, 10% plus. So that's kind of my take on it. It's kind of the first year where I was really able to focus on like it being a retail sales event for me. Last year was like I was still just trying to get my inventory stuff down, and I was just trying to get listings on. I only had 30 some thousand listings, stuff like that. This year I felt like I was really in a position and everything was running well that I could just focus on trying to run a retail sales promotion um, the right way and get a lot of sales out of it. So we're
Yeah,
really
that
pleased
makes
with it.
sense. And we took different paths over the holiday there,
Hmm.
and it's kind of that same scenario, right? Like I'm more I'm not even to where you were last year yet.
Hmm.
So my thought process on the whole Black Friday was, oh, I got some more catch up I can do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and there's that too. There's always work to do.
Yeah,
Um, I spent a lot of hours just packing and shipping and sending coupons and doing stuff like that too.
yeah,
Um, but I think customers appreciate it when you participate in some of those um, sale things, and and giving them some opportunity to maybe save a little bit on some cards. The other thing is when you put that sale price on, anybody who is watching an item, they get notified that there was a sale price.
right.
So some of those items that have been in my store for maybe for 2 or 3 years, and there were watchers on it. Well, if there wasn't really any activity on it, there's nothing to bump that watcher to buy, right? So now you go, okay, well, they've been a watcher for 2 years. I'll throw them a discount, and magically it sells. Um, I think there was I think there was some good movement due to those actions. Um, Now, obviously, in some of those cards, you make a little bit less money, but that's not as much a concern, especially because a lot of the stuff I did sell wasn't on a discount. It was brand new listings, and they were, kind of mixed in together, I guess is the best way to put it. So some of those like Jersey Autos that I just bought on Saturday, I was getting full price for, no promotion, and
Yeah.
then mixed that in with some older stuff that was 25% off. So
Yeah, and
it's kind of a,
a lot of that older stuff you talked about, like you had it in your inventory for a while, so it was kind of like dead money sitting there, right?
right,
You
exactly.
just get it moved, make room for something hot and fresh to come in, at least recoup your losses. Sounds like you actually made a little bit of margin on it, not what you
I did.
probably were hoping to get 2 years ago when you listed it,
Right.
but you got a little something out of it, right?
Well, and it's funny. Some of that stuff I listed, I look at it and I'm like, I wouldn't even buy that now to resell. You
I
know,
know, right?
so some of that was still like during learning curves. It was Dwayne Haskins rookies and stuff. Well,
Yeah.
that didn't really pan out. So there's just some of that too that's just gonna sit there until you throw a good enough deal at somebody. As long
It's like
as long as
baseball
you're
too.
yeah.
You can't bat 1,000.
Yeah, and and most of my inventory, especially that type of inventory, cost me, maybe 10, 15 cents max. So as long as you sell multiple cards, you're automatically going to make money on it anyway. Because if you're even if I gave it half price, if I listed it at $1.99 and I gave it to them half price for $1, but there's really no additional expenses because it's a second card that they bought. That's still $1 versus the 15 cents that I paid.
Right.
So um, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of numbers games to play in there, and I had a couple cards that sold because I did 25% off. Right, my lowest price is $1.99, so I'm like, well, that's perfect because the lowest I would sell a card for is $1.49, right, which is what a lot of base price uh, calculation is for a lot of low end sellers. So I'm like, that's fine. It'll throw me right in that market. I'll be the Skechers shoes for the weekend
Yeah.
and offer the discounts to the buyers. Um, but some of those they would go through the watchers, and I would send them offers, and then I would end up selling it for $1.34 or something like that, $1.43. I don't know, whatever it was with the additional 10%. Um, so then some of those, it was like after expenses and everything else, I was making like 15 cents. If they bought a single card. Um, but that's just par for the course. Sometimes you have to, you know, if if you're really experienced with retail or you understand retail, there's plenty of things that are sold at a loss. Um, it's they're basically just draws to get somebody in to buy the things that make them profit,
Right.
to make the retailer profit. It's
Lost
called
leaders.
a loss leader. Yeah, it's called a loss leader. So I was kind of playing that game. I wasn't really getting losses, but I was kind of playing loss leader just to, more break evenish money on some of those things because they were older. It was a way to get them out, and then I could get some other sales besides that. The other thing I did over the past week or two is I ran some auctions. I just took a stack of cards that hadn't been listed yet. I listed them at auction, got some sales on those, and I feel a couple of them. I had sent one to Ethan. I don't think I sent it to you, but one of the auction cards that sold at auction sold for 99 cents, but he bought 15 other cards out of the store then after the auction ended. So it's kind of it's a cross sale opportunity. There's eBay has two sets of buyers. It has auction buyers and buy it now buyers, and sometimes buyers will do both, but there's generally two different types of people that are taking that route when they're shopping eBay. So it gives you an opportunity to kind of take your store buyers and get into the auction side and get auction buyers and get them into the store. Especially when I was promoting the store, with eBay, it made sense to have something extra to go after there. And I didn't get they were all lower end cards. It's nothing fancy. But again, just stuff that I figured could sell. Here's some stacks of them. So I got like this Steve McNair die cut here, an EX Drew Bledsoe. Here's a McNair Turf Champions insert. A Dante Culpepper Bowman Chrome rookie. There's a preview Drew Bledsoe sculpted. So decent cards. Inception Joe Flacco. That's a really nice set. Let's see, what else do I have? Reggie Bush Inception. DeAndre Hopkins Silver Prism. Minnesota Vikings flag for pennant out of contenders. Tutu Atwell rookie. So here's George Kittle behind the numbers. Just some random stuff, nothing super fancy. Things I'd be happy to get $2 for. Selling them in the store anyway. So that's what I did. So I think that helped too, just to get some cross sales, some candy bars at the checkout, right?
Yeah.
Candy bars at the checkout. So, yeah, and I'm looking forward to Christmas or the after Christmas sale. I'm moving some stuff that way, getting some things done before the new year. But yeah, curious for you guys, anybody watching on here, how did your sales go, or what did you try that really worked or didn't work? Knowing what doesn't work can be just as beneficial a lot of times, as we're trying to figure all this out. But I'm getting so close to the 60,000 now. I was like, you know what? I would love to just move 500-600 cards in this next week. I don't care if I break even on 10 or 20 of them. I want to make sure that I just get some stuff moved and get some new buyers in and things like that. So I was really surprised how many new followers I got out of it. So this was probably the most new buyers I've gotten in a long time, because usually I get a lot of repeat buyers, which is good. but this got me a lot of new buyers. Probably because prices dropped. I had watchers, that were sitting on stuff that hadn't bought anything, finally popped. Store promotion, things like that. I think it was just kind of the right combination to get some of that growth, get some of that growth. So, yeah. So that's my shake on that. Anybody else have any input on it? That'd be great. Let's see, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, the Madison Card Show. Madison Card Show is great. Try to get to that one once or twice a year. Ethan was able to go with me, so that was fun. It's always nice to have a second set of hands. And what a lot of non-sport. As soon as I walked in and I turned to the left, there was a whole 2-row box of non-sport for $30. I just picked it up and gave him $30 and didn't even really look in it. And then right next to that was one of the national card show non-sport sellers. So I hit his stuff pretty good. And he had a bunch of discount baseball boxes, like 10-cent baseball boxes, but they were good. They were good baseball. Well, here's some of it. I'll just show you a sample, but 10 cents before discount. So probably 7-8 cents by the time I'm done, but it's nice. Ivan Rodriguez purple here. So lots of parallels, inserts. Here's a Bo Naylor rookie. He had a really solid season with the Guardians. Pedro Martinez, Topps Finest White Refractor.
I've heard of him.
This one's really cool. This is a Freddie Freeman, but this is the first year of Select. There's a little bit of a premium added on for those cards. Here's a numbered Sammy Sosa foil, numbered out of 2021. Here's a numbered card, another numbered card. Yu Darvish, numbered out of 349. Ricky Henderson, pop up, stand up, push up, whatever you want to call these things. This one's kind of cool. This is a Frank Thomas hologram. Probably can't see any of that at all, can you?
Looks like a mirror.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah. Can kind of see his signature at the bottom there a little bit. But it's a Frank Thomas promo card, hologram. A couple of Ichiro Bowman Chromes.
You have to say it right.
A couple more Ichiro. Mark McGuire, Denny's hologram, Grand Slam breakfast. Ozzie Smith, Bowman's Best. So there's some really nice premium brands too. Here's a nice Inception Juan Soto. Don't see those in dime boxes. Topps Museum, Ozzie Smith, nice thick cards, really high quality. This one I love, this old EXL, and it's the framed version with the wizard on it. Love it. Ozzie Smith doesn't get enough love. Topps Chrome Greg Maddux. Here's a Flair Greg Maddux showcase. So yeah, really nice, hot stuff. 93 Flair with the first year of Flair, has a lot of fan base. Topps Triple Threads, Greg Maddux, Jordan Lawler, Bowman Chrome, rookie refractor type thingy. So there's modern in there too. I know this stack I happen to grab is a lot of like Hall of Fame and Legends, but there was a lot of nice, some prospects type stuff and that kind of thing in there too. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that. All that stuff out of dime boxes. I just about filled a 2-row, and he gave it to me for the price of 1 row.
Nice.
So you would figure, so if it was a full 2-row, it'd be 5 cents a card. So I was a little short of that. So I'm going to say it was probably like 7 cents a card. Can't really beat that. And then I found a dealer who had a bunch of jersey and autos, football stuff at $1, $2 a piece, depending on what it was. I got a ton of stuff out of there. I got some Bo Nix, some Stroud, all things that are really coming into the heat now. I sold a bunch of Bo Nix stuff the last couple days. People kind of slept on him this season, which was sort of weird because I sort of felt like he was having a better season than Jaden Daniels, and just wasn't getting the attention. So I was buying up as much Bo Nix stuff at shows and stuff as I could, Bowman, U stuff, that kind of thing. And most of that has moved now, sold. So
And his college season was good last year too. He was in the talks for the Heisman for a while, and
Mhm.
you would have thought more of that would have carried over, but people did kind of sleep on him.
Yeah, so took full advantage of that. I bought as much as I could find, in value spots, and um, yeah, so it was good. I got some Mark Sanchez rookies. I got some Johnny Manziel rookies. Love those players. Those are you can get those in 50-cent boxes, nice chromes. I had a Johnny Manziel jersey, game used jersey rookie that I had picked up in Appleton when I bought all those jersey cards. I sold it for $10. I mean, I didn't even get an offer on it. It just sold, and I paid like 70 cents for it. So love that kind of stuff. So I picked up some of that too. A little bit of soccer, but mainly non-sport. Which I listed some, but now I'm kind of thinking I'm going to throw the rest aside, and I really want to build um, some non-sport attention on the second store. So I'm going to kind of keep that aside, and when as the main store here fills, I'm going to sort of kick off the second store with a bunch of non-sport.
Okay.
That's the goal anyway. But I got some Fortnite, I got some Pokemon, I got some Digimon, just a bunch of like the promo ones from like the Philly non-sport show and the New York Comic Con show and stuff. Those have always done well for me, so I was pretty excited. The box I bought for $30 was a banger. It was a no-brainer. I mean, there's some duds in there, probably like any box you would buy, but um, there's some really good stuff in there too. Lots of inserts from non-sport sets. I did have a big miss this weekend, though.
Really?
Yep, big miss.
Tell us
Um,
more.
well, I didn't know about these cards. And generally, what I do now when I'm going through boxes, if I see a card where I'm like, huh, I haven't seen this card before, I generally just buy it
Mhm.
because I've looked through so many hundreds and thousands of boxes. At this point, if I haven't seen it before, probably something that I could
Yeah.
make my money on. So I was going through he had like 3 or 4 two-row non-sports, and and you know how it is when you get to the first dealer at the show, I was doing well there and I wanted to spend time there, but then in the same thing in the back of my head, I'm like, well, what do all these other
Right.
dealers have? What am
Fear
I
of
missing
missing
out
out.
on? Right. So just to kind of set the scene, that's the mode that I was in. And just I grabbed all the non-sport stuff that I wanted, and then I saw the baseball boxes, and I grabbed a couple handfuls, and I'm like, man, this stuff's really good for 10 cents. Lots of Hall of Famer stuff. Well, I kind of showed you, some samples, really nice brands, which matters. And then there was a guy, and so all the non-sport boxes are kind of on the left of me. You guys will see this in the video too. And I was actually talking to a viewer. A viewer came up and said thank you for the videos and stuff. So um, I appreciate that, especially when I'm out of town and somebody recognizes me. I don't expect that. But anyway, I'm going through the baseball boxes. I actually went behind the dealer's table and was set up back there, which is kind of nice. I got out of the flow a bit. But there was another gentleman who walked up and he started going through the non-sport boxes, and he is just a non-sport collector. That's what he collects. He puts together sets and things like that. And there was a little pile of in living color cards
Okay.
in the box.
The band or the
And
show?
the show,
Okay.
the show. Um, I did look through them, and I did say to myself, huh, I don't know if I've ever bought in living color cards before.
Were there Jim Carrey
Or
cards in there?
or or the hold on. Um, it's part of my due diligence, so at least I did put some work into this. Um, but it's kind of like the Saturday Night Live cards that I bought at the National and things like that. They haven't been heavy movers. They don't go for big bucks or anything like that. So it's kind of like, there was enough other stuff out of there I wanted, and I really wanted to save some room in my two-row box because I wanted to pick up a lot of the baseball. My
Okay.
two things I wanted to buy at this show were baseball and non-sport. And literally the first dealer I went to, I hit a home
Nailed it.
run, pun intended. So anyway, he's going through it, and he grabbed all the in living color cards and a few other cards out of the box and bought them. And he was just talking to the dealer. The dealer's like, "Yeah, those in living color cards." He's like, "I don't ever see those." And I had like 2 sets of them, and I kind of screwed up on the first set, and I left all the Jim Carrey cards in it, and those are good money and stuff like that. It's also a Jamie Foxx's rookie card,
Yep.
if you want to
Jamie
call it
Foxx.
that too. Now, when I went through the cards, that is what I looked for. I did look for Jamie Foxx, and I did look for um, Jim Carrey cards. I didn't see any in there.
Damon
But there was
Wayans.
there was like Homie the Clown, and
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez has like
Oh
a
yeah, the Fly Girls.
rookie-ish card in there too. Yeah, some of the Fly Girls cards. And none of those were in there. So I'm like, nah, I'll pass on these for now. There were sticker inserts in there. There was stuff that, I really wanted to make sure I got. But I should have bought them. I should have bought them.
Yeah.
At 10 cents a piece, you hardly ever see them. Despite the fact that there was no Jim Carrey or Jamie Foxx, stuff in there, I think that would have been a smart buy. So that was my miss. Not terrible, not the worst thing I've ever done. But if I go through another dime box and there's in living color cards in there, you bet your ass I'm buying them. So, but I found some Kiss cards in there. I found some early Star Wars stuff. I'm trying to think what else. What else was in there? Some promo stuff. A bunch of sticker cards from like Harry and the Hendersons and Flintstones and not giant movers, but at 10 cents or 7 cents. Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna buy a
Yeah.
sticker insert card for 7 cents. But the main reason I brought this up, I mean, you'll see, like I said, you'll see the video when I put it together. But I screw up. I screw up too when I go to shows. I miss stuff. Even at the National, I went through all those non-sport cards at Dell's tables, and I missed the pony cards. And you bought a bunch of the ponies.
Sold one again last night.
Yeah, but you passed on some good ponies too.
Yeah.
I got some nice ones out of there too. So I think it's important to just realize that you can't get everything. You can't get to every table at a show. You have to. Some stuff's going to go, and that's okay. And you're going to miss a few things when you dig through boxes. I even have that sometimes when I'm doing videos, and I'm like, "Oh, here's my pickups video," or "Here's my video from the show," and they're like, somebody's like, "Hey, that Zach Thomas card is a case hit, blah blah blah," and I'm like, I don't know what the hell that was, something I wouldn't think to buy, so I didn't buy it. But I think that's good. That's good experience because it shows us the hobby evolves forever, and I think it's good for us to constantly learn and look at new things that we can buy. I bought a lot of Marvel stuff. I bought a lot of I bought some wrestling. I found a bunch of Rock cards. The Rock, like 8 or 10 of those. I mean, that's just a no-brainer. He's got a big Christmas movie out right now, which Red One. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's awesome. I really enjoyed it. So, I feel like I took advantage of my time as best as I could, but I had some misses. The National is probably the biggest example of that because you just can't do it all. There's so much there, and that first day is killer because it sounds like you get enough time when they open it at 3 and it goes till what, 7 or 8.
Yeah.
But that's the first 4 hours of your weekend to dig and buy. It's the first eyes on the boxes, and it goes so fast, and you're gonna miss. Which is exactly what happened with those pony cards. I got a ton of good stuff. I got a stack of 600 Goonies cards. I can't be complaining.
Yeah.
But I never got to the box where there was the pony stuff. And you learned about the ponies from me, talking about it. So you were like, hey, this is something I know about. I don't know I don't know about it, but I know of it. I'm going to pick up
Right.
some pony cards and I'm going to give it a shot. And obviously, you don't regret that.
No.
Um, so yeah, that's a great way to learn, and it's one of the reasons why I make the videos. Try to show people my gems of finds, and then also my screw ups of misses. Um, to just show, we're all human, and even if we've been doing this a long time, there's going to be stuff you miss. Speaking of which, I have my pristine Cleveland
I saw that. Yeah.
shirt on tonight. It's a tad small on me, but most things are these days, so it is what it is. I did get all my before the big snowfall today. I did get all my Christmas lights up because we do all our snow projection lights. Got them all up and kind of positioned. I had to go back out there. I had to go down the street to get Luna off the bus because the bus driver didn't want to go up our road. We've got that hill that comes up, and she was like, "Yeah, no." So trying to be nice to her, and so I went outside and I was, we have those two driveways. I was at the driveway facing where the conservancy is, and she just parked down there, and Luna just came running up the road instead. So very
So
very
how much
interesting
snow
day.
did you get back home?
We didn't get a ton of snow, but it was just those
Sloppy.
big, yeah, and those flakes that are like this freaking big, and they just it just flaps down everywhere, and um, it's because of the time of year it is. It's not quite cold enough yet, so it gets kind of sloshy, and and people just haven't driven yet. They haven't driven
Yeah.
on it. With some sliding, and then again where I live, it's hills and trees and all that kind of stuff. So it just plays a different game as well.
So when I get back to town Thursday night, tomorrow night, I get a little bit of sleep, and then Friday morning I gotta head up to Munising, and I hear they got like 3 feet of snow up there this week.
Ooh, funsies.
Yeah.
Are you're driving? I'm assuming.
I'm driving. I'm one of the carpool drivers. Yeah.
Ew, yuck.
Yeah.
Well, have fun with that. I'll be in my basement where there's not even windows, so I don't have to care about the snow.
Right.
All right, so quick interjection here before we move on. You'll notice at the bottom here we've got a scroll going through. I've got my Patreon link there if you want to contribute to the channel at all. And then, of course, our Discord group. If you're not in our Discord, join our Discord. It's free. Lots of good stuff happens on there. Lots of good conversation. I've learned a lot on there. I'm still killing it with those ASG cards, and I wouldn't even have thought twice about buying those sets at Target had somebody not, put those into my brain. So, between that and the chats on here, and just working on our inventory organization and listing and how to market and sell and all that, the Discord provides a lot of that great information, and it's just fun. I really like the first sale of the day. I think that's fun. A lot of the users there will post their first sale that they make each day. What am I stepping on? Oh yeah, my pants shredded on the bottom. I forgot about that. I have these.
I posted my first sale today.
I think you did. It was real early this morning, like 6 o'clock or something.
Oh yeah, I think I had one when I woke up. Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you join the Discord and be a part of this. It's not me and Charlie. It's me and Charlie and all of you. So those of you who are watching, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Make sure you thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this recorded, try to join us live some night. It's fun. You get to participate. There's a fairly active chat, and we're live every Wednesday, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. So if you're in a different time zone, I can't help you. You're going to have to do those calculations because I don't do that kind of math on a live show.
I did not post my first sale of the day. I gotta go.
You did?
I gotta go post it now.
Slacker. It's
I
almost
know.
like you had stuff to do today.
Just because I leave town doesn't mean I get to shirk all my responsibilities, right? All my social responsibilities.
And that's the thing. Once you start something like that, it's on you. You got to keep it going. You have to put that on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. How about we get to some chat, and then we can try to get to some other topic. All right, Atlas is here. He says hello to you as well. He, she, I don't, person.
You?
Welcome to the show. Odd Merchants is here. Time for some brats, PBR, and cheese curds. Nice. Those all sound good to me.
Sounds like a good date to me.
I had stuffed squash for dinner, and it was amazeballs. One of my favorites. Brown turkey, a little Spanish rice. Very healthy, tasty, good stuff. Let's see. Dan is here. What is up, fellas? Hope all is well and you are staying warm. I am now. I was not earlier. It was, and where I live, we don't get the wind, which helps a ton. The wind is the killer part of the equation in the
For
cold
sure.
weather areas.
Hashtag truth.
And it was still windy and cold. I went out without my gloves on to adjust the lights because it's just, you can't really do some of that with gloves on. It just doesn't work very well. I had to, the way the projectors work is they're staked in the ground, and then I have to kind of turn the little gear so that it moves, up or down, whichever direction I need the projector to go. It just, you can't get in there and do that with gloves on. And I thought, it'll take me like 5-10 minutes. I've set this show up a couple times now. I'm like, kind of know what I'm doing. It'll be pretty quick. I went in after 10 minutes. I could barely feel my hands. That's how freaking cold it was. So yeah, not cool. Let's see. Good evening, guys. Good evening to you as well. Joe is here. Evening. Found treasures. Peace and mahalo, I guess. I like it. Pretty sharp. I see what you did there. Yeah. That Charlie, he's a wild one there. He's basically a stand-up comedian. We're referring to our Sterling Sharp autographs helmet.
That is definitely a sharp helmet.
It is definitely a sharp helmet. It'll be given away at the Goat Show in Green Bay at the Riverside Ballroom on January 12th. And all you have to do to be eligible for this is bring a couple canned goods. We're collecting some food for a local food bank. So help out a charity. Bring some, I don't even care if it's stuff that's been sitting in your cupboard that you just haven't eaten yet and don't plan to. Great time to clean out that cupboard, bring a few pieces of food for the needy, and we'll get you entered in for a drawing to win a Sterling Sharp autographed helmet. You don't have to be present to win. And those of you that follow us and follow the show, you'll know that because I posted videos of our other winner, or pictures of our other winner, and I ended up running it out to his house. So actually delivered his prize to him. So we're going to make sure that if you win, you are going to get your helmet. Obviously, if you're present, that's even better because then we can just hand it to you and be done with it. But if that's not the case,
social with us.
Yeah, that'd be fun. It'd be fun to get some pictures together or video or something. Yeah, keep it moving. Shout out to Ethan for donating the giveaway. Appreciate you. Couldn't do it without you. And he'll be set up with a table there as well, so be sure to stop by and see Ethan's table and maybe give him some business or just say hi. And good dude, good dude, part of our group. So, and he'll be joining us for the national again this year. Speak of the devil. National. Man, I can't believe we have to plan for the next one already. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Goes so fast. Atlas likes the helmet. Thank you very much. I'm glad you do. Hopefully you can join us at the show. 4T pieces, so I take it then that you were doing a pay-per-click store promotion option, Adam. I did a promoted store feature, yes. I have been presented from eBay before to do a like front page store thingy. Thingy. I haven't really done anything through that. I didn't really like the terms of it, so I just ran my own promotion and you set your own parameters of it, when you want to start it, when you want to end it, things like that, and it helps. Also, I get, as Charlie had pointed out to me earlier this week, I get double postings because I have a website that I purchased that links back to my eBay store. So I get both my store and my URL, which, by the way, is the dollarbox.shop. So if you want to buy any of my cool cards that I'm selling, the dollarbox.shop. But yeah, so you have to, it's a dog eat dog world out there. Everybody's trying to, you guys are trying to do the same thing I'm doing. Those of you who are sellers, so gotta do what you gotta do to try to get some separation, get those deals done. All right, let's see. Max says not everybody. I think he's referring to my listing count. I think, are you at 60,000 or do you have more than that? I'd be interested what your listing count is. I can't remember what you said. All right, Dan says, so when you did an inventory sale, that is like a sell similar and it jumps you higher to the top. I don't know exactly how the algorithm views it, but it does automatically promote items that are on a sale. That's the best way I can put it. And then again, it just informs all your watchers. So any of your watchers on those listings get a thing saying, hey, the seller just dropped the price on this, or there's a sale going on this item you're watching, things like that. So I actually think in a way it works better than end listing sell similar, but you have to give a discount to do it. You see what I'm saying? So it's costing you something, I guess. No, I could have done 10%. I could have been done 5%. I could have done 85% if I wanted. So the percent you want to do, it might be different depending on how you're operating. It's one of the main reasons I don't sell at the lowest price. I want that cushion in there to be able to do different things with the pricing of my inventory. I want to be able to do sales. I want to be able to do coupons, things like that. And by pricing at the Nike price and not the Skechers price, I have the availability to do that. Especially if that gets someone in the door and then they buy some of your Nikes as well. Barton Card says, good morning. Good morning. Where the hell are you? You in Australia or are you in the future? You're in the future in Australia. Well, good morning to you. It's not so much a morning here. Oh, there we go. Good evening. Just forgot what time he's in, I guess. Atlas says he's a buy it now. I am too. I'm not a big auction person. I do it once in a while on lots and stuff, or something that sometimes if you might find like a certain thing where you want to get in on it, the price is cheaper, or it's just something you can't find, or there's a sneaky good play in a lot or something like that. Well, if it happens to be in an auction, I'll bid on the auction because that's the choice you have. But even the auctions I ran, the little low end auctions, I put a buy it now price on it too. It doesn't count against your buy it now listing. So why not? If somebody saw the auction and they're like, I don't really do auctions, I could bid at this thing at 99 cents, or I could just buy it now for $2.99. All right, I'll just buy it now. I gave a buyout option on all those too, because again, you have those two different types of buyers generally on eBay. Oh, and I charged a shipping on the auctioned items. You pretty much have to start auctions at 99 cents to be successful, but I didn't want to sell anything at 99 cents. So kind of took a page out of Bo's book a little bit there. I've been doing auctions forever with my account, just to clear out mainly old base Favre stuff since I had so much, and kind of got away from that a little bit. So I've had that experience previously, and now I thought, I'm just going to take a handful of some other stuff that I haven't listed and just throw it up there, and got some sales out of it, and got some additional sales out of it. precisely what the goal was. Shouldn't be yawning already, but I am. Baseball card curmudgeon, what's up, fellas? How are you this evening? Thanks for joining us. Max's Monday was spent shipping. Yeah, same. Even with all my better efficiencies, a day like that is still just eating up so much. I mean, I had 3 giant stacks of cards that had to go out, and I assume Max, you were somewhere around there too with all your Pokemans. Not Pokemon, but
How dare you?
Pokemon. Oh shoot! Oopsie moment. Yeah, I assume you're referring to my In Living Color. That's my hot tip for tonight. If you see In Living Color cards, buy them. Again, I feel like overall I did really well at the show, but yeah, that was something where I'm like, yeah. Anyway, I have to move on. It was 36 degrees and the flakes were big and wet and froze. Yeah, I agree. That's kind of what we were experiencing here. Lula gets on the bus at like 3:35 and she didn't get home till like 8 minutes to 5. And our school's like 3 blocks away.
Nice.
So yeah,
I wonder which one of the Pokemon brothers we have tonight.
I assume they're working together, but maybe I'm incorrect. Do they ever work together, or are they true brothers where they just do their own thing?
Mostly they do their own thing.
Yeah, I could see that. Nothing wrong with that. Atlas says, like the video. Thank you very much. Please listen to Atlas there and give us a like. We'd appreciate it. Helps us on that algorithm. We can make some more videos and keep doing the show. I'm going to try to do another sales video, depending on how busy it is the next couple of days. But I want to get that Madison card show video out. Those always do really well. I think there's a lot of interest around here for that particular show. And I always get good stuff there. So I try to, like I said, I try to go there twice a year. It's not super convenient, but it's not the worst drive in the world. It's about 2 hours and 8 minutes from my house. Yeah, it's a good show. Lots of dealers, 180 dealers or something like that, maybe. I don't know. There was a lot of Pokemon there. A lot of Pokemon. I'm seeing that more and more at shows, though. A lot more Pokemon dealers. That's really grown. Oh, I think Charlie froze out there. See if we can get him back. All right, I'll keep going. Evan says, loving the sales videos. Followed your method of skewing and bagging. Been working well so far. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I think it's a fun thing to share. I like the new style of sales videos. I'm hoping you're all enjoying it based on views and feedback. It seems to be doing well. But I like kind of pulling the cards. You kind of get an idea of my system and how I pack things and stuff like that. So I'm going to continue to do that. It is actually a little bit quicker format for me too, which is good. Time matters always when you're especially working for yourself. I don't get a hourly paycheck. I did the work and I get a paycheck kind of paycheck. So yeah, I'm going to continue to make those. I've got my third cabinet that I'm just kicking off using, so I'm hoping to include that in some videos in the very near future as well, and you can see how that expansion is going. Glad to be in SoCal where the winter is about 40 to 50 and raining at its worst. Yeah, lucky you. I wouldn't mind that after Christmas. I don't mind this I don't mind this snowy, wintry season for the next few weeks. It's kind of fun with Christmas. It makes it seem more real and magical and all that kind of stuff. Once Christmas is over, I got no use for it. And unfortunately, it's just really the beginning of snow season at that point. So, but yeah, I live where my face hurts, and I don't know why. Unfortunately, let's see. Or used a Joe says used a store credit to order a box of Garbage Pail Kids the other day. Have not owned any Garbage Pail Kids to the '80s, so that should be a fun rip. Yeah, I rip Garbage Pail Kids pretty regularly. Try to anyway when I find some products at some good prices. I don't find a ton in boxes at shows. Once in a while, you'll find some of the older ones, but uh, yeah, for the most part, the modern stuff just doesn't pop up much. You have to basically buy wax to get them. So yeah, well, have fun with that. Hopefully, you get some cool stuff. You can get, if it's modern stuff, you can get autos and sketch cards and all kinds of stuff. There he is.
I'm back.
I see that. You can get some autos and sketch cards and uh, numbered cards and parallels and things like that. So Garbage Pail Kids is a legit product for sure.
Yeah,
Alice loves them.
I find them fun to just rip open, and they do steadily sell.
Yep.
Like it seems like every week or two, I got another one mixed in with the sports card sales, right? So, they're not. It's not just buying for the sake of ripping it open. Like you can move them. In fact, I swear it was just this morning. I sold a Kids at Play caricature.
And they do a lot of like pop culture tie-in sets. I bought the Clerks ones at the National. There's pretty much every set they have come out is sort of themed around some sort of pop culture thing. Like the Bookworms is all about famous books. So there's like Harry Potter um, type cards in there, and James and the Giant Peach cards, and things like that. Um, Food Fight has a lot of different, obviously food references to it. I Hate the '90s has a lot of different '90s pop culture type celebrities and things in it that are, done as a parody with the Garbage Pail Kids, um, art style and name style and stuff. So, yeah, and I've been collecting Atom Bomb for a long time. My name is Adam, so that's part of it. When I was a kid, everybody who did Garbage Pail Kids which is basically everybody that I knew. Everybody wanted to get the cards with their names on it, and mine just happened to be the name that's associated with the most famous Garbage Pail Kid ever made, right? And he's Adam Bomb kind of was like the logo for Garbage Pail Kids for years and years and years. So that was just collecting them. I thought it was kind of a fun thing to have. Max says he shipped out about 3,000 cards on Monday. Woo, man, I don't think I got quite that high. I never counted because why? I wasn't going to do that, spend the time doing that. But I'm going to say I was probably around 400 to 450, somewhere in there. So it's a great couple of days. Oh, Mom, you got
She hacked the boys' account.
you got the Jenny on there. Hi, Jenny.
Mrs. JC3.
Mrs. JC3, you're right. Listed inventory is probably 70 to 80K on the downtrend currently. Haven't listed bulk in a bit, just a few bigger pieces. Yeah, I can see that as your numbers get bigger and stuff. My inventory total right now is actually closer to 100,000 cards, but I have multiple quantities. So I'm at 58,000 something, but I'm closer to like 100,000. It's not quite 100,000. It's like 97,000 something total quantity I have listed. So the numbers get skewed a little bit. It's kind of a good deal. If you get 10 copies of a card, it's kind of a good deal that it only takes you one listing to do it. Yeah. Sort of buys you some free listings. Scott is here. I got a stack of envelopes back today from USPS asking for 40 cents more per envelope. Frustrating. There are still times this happens, dropping them right back in the mail. Yep. Been through that. You got to find your spot where that doesn't happen. It's kind of what I had to do. Unfortunately, I got to drive a little out of the way to hit wow, Bitcoin just hit 100,000, by the way. I just got a notification, so Bitcoin is killing it. Anyway, so yeah, I had to kind of drive out of the way and get to a box where I knew I was going to have any problems, and it's been almost a whole year now, and I haven't had anything coming back. But yeah, that's unfortunately that's just something that can happen. Get this man a Monster Energy. I have some Baja Blast Zero, so it doesn't really have the sugar, but it has the caffeine, and I don't know. None of that does anything for me. I got up at 3:15 this morning to start work, so that's. I can go a full day as a human, but this is like the end of my day normally. So,
I woke up at 2:19 this morning.
oh, did you?
I did. I don't know why. I didn't. My alarm wasn't set until 5:30, but 2:19 in the morning, I sat up and I said, "Did I oversleep?" And then I said, "What the hell am I doing?"
I think I messaged you at like 3 o'clock.
It
I don't know
could
if you're
be because
still up.
I woke up again at like 5:03, and again
Yeah,
I'm like, my alarm didn't go off yet. Why am I waking up? But sometimes that happens when you're traveling.
yeah, I can see that. Did you pass any time zones or anything?
No, it's all in Central.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that's good. Barton says I'm good with the snow until January. Yeah, exactly. I feel the exact same way. I don't mind holiday snow, and then it can go away. Unfortunately, that's generally the beginning of the snow season for us. We got kind of an early one this year, with having one already, but last couple of years it's sort of teased us. We've had something kind of earlier, and then we haven't gotten much snow during the regular snow season. So hopefully that'll happen again this year. We'll see. I got my plow guy all lined up, so I'm good to go. And whether it happens or not, but wouldn't mind saving the money and not having to have the plow. I spent this Thanksgiving break organizing my cards so I can be in a better position to sell, but I wasn't listing. Probably would have sold more if I did list. Yeah, you definitely sell more when you list. That just it's just laws of numbers and just getting new stuff out there. Um, and I understand where you're coming from because that's a thing that frustrates me because I have all this inventory that wasn't set up correctly when I first started, and I have to spend time to get it switched over to the inventory system that works. But it just doesn't feel like it's monetarily productive, right? It's not going to get you sales by taking a bunch of cards and assigning SKU numbers to them on a computer. Um, but it has to be done. That being said, I won't do that during peak sales times. I list and I sell and I ship, and then that stuff is going to sit and wait until I have time when those other things aren't as time consuming. I don't have as much going on. So that's kind of how I've done it. That would be my tip on that. Try to save those sort of busy work tasks for when it's not a peak sales season. California has plenty of downfalls. Give me Wisconsin any day. Yeah, I mean that's true. I think anywhere has some pluses and minuses for sure. Keith is here. What's up, fellas? We actually had snow here in North Carolina yesterday. Melted by lunchtime, though. I don't think all of ours will. Oh my God, Bitcoin just hit $102,767. Crazy times. If you have some Bitcoin, congratulations.
All for
We
make
actually,
believe money.
I have some Bitcoin. Yeah, but you can turn it into other money if you want. So it's not really make believe. Most stock is make believe too, just so you know.
That's fair. That's
You're
fair.
not actually getting anything for it. Um, it's not like back in the day when it was like dividend paying stocks and stuff like that, where you would actually get paid for holding the stock. You have to hope for appreciation and then hope that you can find a buyer, right? Kind of
Yeah.
like cards. Kind of like cards. It's the same, just as much gambling doing that stuff. Anyway, we had snow in North Carolina yesterday and melted by lunchtime. I have a feeling most of this one we got today, we didn't get a ton of snow. It was just kind of a bunch at once, and it's just kind of in that sloppy season time where it's too warm yet too cold, and people don't know how to drive yet, and the whole thing is just it's that bad combination for that first one in the year. All right. Good evening. It's 102K right now, and I am doing a happy dance. What's 102K? Your listing count?
No, Bitcoin.
Oh, 100. Yeah, Bitcoin. Duh, just talked about it. Yeah. I played the Bitcoin to Litecoin game a little bit, which was good because Litecoin had a big jump in the last couple of days, and I knew it was gonna the money was gonna leave there. So, yeah, it's a great play right now. I wouldn't be buying Bitcoin necessarily at 102. I'm kind of surprised because it was at like 97 or 98 this morning. Kind of surprised it got to 102 because there's all these like sell order thresholds, right? Floors and ceilings, for those of you who understand investing. So a lot of people would have their ceiling set at 100, right? So let's say you bought some Bitcoin at 60,000, you'd say sell it at 100, right? It's a nice flat, even mark. So I know there was a lot of sellers at 100K. So I'm surprised it just went like 98 and just said, screw it, 102. Like, where did all the buyers come from? I'm assuming a lot of it was sellers of the alternative coins or altcoins that are going back into Bitcoin because Bitcoin's your real store of value on cryptocurrency. So I'm guessing that's where where the safer money is going now, if you want to call any cryptocurrency safe. But yeah, that's very interesting. 102K. I didn't think we'd see it this year, so crazy times. Scott says stocks are way to go for me. You can sell anytime, very unlike cards. True and not true. You still have to find a buyer at your price for your stock, unless you're just selling at market. But generally, your market's going to be less than what you could get on an asking price because, yeah, that's how it works. Cards work that way too. If you want, top comp, it's a little tougher to find a buyer. If you're willing to take that bit of a discount, you can probably find a buyer right away. So yeah, nothing wrong with playing stocks either, for sure. It's a great way to build some wealth. So I think we're caught up already. That's crazy. I didn't expect that. So we also have we got one more. Speak of the devil. So on the auction listing talk, is there a good recommended end time day? Obviously time zone dependent as far as days. I do Sunday nights. It's funny, I was just talking to my wife about this before I came down here because she has some things we want to put on. Some like Christmas decorations we don't use anymore. She wants to put on like Facebook Marketplace and stuff. This is the time of year to do it, right? Get them out of the house, have somebody else pick it up. You don't have to bring it anywhere and hopefully get a few bucks. And she's like, well, I've been doing this, I've been selling this stuff on here for so long. I know when the good times are, when the bad times are. Here's my theory on that whole thing. I think trying to time it when you're just selling like random stuff doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. The sooner you get the stuff on there, the sooner you could get somebody that wants it and makes a bid or makes a buy. So just list the thing. Now, when it comes to me for auctions on there, I run a 7-day auction and then I just let it auto relist. So let's say I list on a Tuesday morning. Well, it's going to end then on a Monday morning, right? Isn't that how it goes? Yeah, it'll end on a Monday morning. So then when it relists, it'll end on a Sunday morning. So you end up, when it auto relists, you end up landing on a different day in it, anyway. So you can kind of keep letting it go until hopefully you'll hit a time when it's best to get a buyer. But no, I just randomly grab a stack of cards and I go, hey, I got some listings, some auction listings available. I'll list a little stack of cards and see how they do. So I didn't list that many. I listed maybe 75 cards and I think I sold like 18 of them or so. So not a huge number, but remember, these are just random cards I would charge $1.99 for anyway. And it got me some additional sales. It got, they won one auction. They came in and bought some cards out of the store. So I think if you have a big store, like if you have a lot of listings in your store, I think it's a big advantage, because they should be shopping for other items. That's my take. Now you can try to time it. No, I always do my Sunday night auctions. I've heard people have really good success with Wednesday night auctions. I've heard people have really good success with Thursday night auctions. Some people have some success with daytime auctions because there isn't as much competition, and it's not like it was 15 years ago where people couldn't check eBay during the day because they were at work. You can literally have it on your computer at work, or on your phone, or you can get notifications on your watch. Like there's no like things turn off at certain times. World these days, people can bid anytime they want. So I would generally, because I don't work nights, and for the most part, I would probably just list them sometime in the afternoon and get a couple bids on them, and whatever. Now, if I was selling like specific cards that were hot and I needed to get a certain price and it had to sell right now and blah, 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 well, then I'd probably want to look more into when is the best time to list, when is the best time to have an end, things like that. But for the stuff I'm selling, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. What's your thoughts on that, Charlie?
Well, first, I think you forgot already what it's like to work in an office, because there's lots of people that can't be on eBay all day in the office.
Well,
Or if
that's
they
not what
do, they're
that's
probably
not what I,
having a different conversation with their leader.
yeah. Well, that's not exactly what I meant. What
I know.
what I was saying is it's not like you go to work and you're on a Microsoft desktop computer without internet, and you got to go home and get your eBay. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
yeah. Or
but
you could check it on your lunch hour. Like I said, you can get notifications on a watch. There's ways to get some exposure to that, even if you're not home during the day.
there is, and some people it doesn't matter what time of day. But the way I look at it, as nobody cares about the first 4 or 5 days of an auction. Nobody cares about that. The
Right.
whole purpose of buying at auction is you want to get in and snipe at a cheap price because nobody else was looking at it when you got it, right? So to me, the whole focal point of a strategy has to be, when is this auction going to end? And where do I want that to lie? Well, I want that to lie where the most eyes could potentially be on it the last 4 hours or so. And to me, that means probably I want it to end on a weekend evening. So I would just time it that way, to try and maximize, people's freedom to look at that. Yes, we're in a 24/7 electronic world now, but there literally are people that spend 8 to 10 hours of their day where they can't really be glued to an electronic to be doing something like that,
Sure, for
right?
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So the majority of the world still works during the day. So I would definitely want it to end in the evening hours, and I want to maximize the additional availability of those weekends.
I just list them whenever.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're listing 99-cent cards, it probably doesn't matter
Yeah.
at all.
And that was my point. It really depends on what you're trying to put out there. What kind of audience do you need? If you need some bidding competition because it's a bigger card, and you want to try to drive up that price, great. But my auctions are going to probably get one bid, and that's going to be the end of it. And then hopefully they buy that one card and they go, well, I won this auction. Let me see what else the guy's got. And they buy a pile of other stuff. And that's exactly what had happened. See, Dan disagrees with you. He said he's had more luck on Thursday nights than he has on weekends. So I don't know. It used to be Sunday nights. You have to end your auctions on Sunday nights. For quite a few years, and I just don't think that's true anymore. I think you can kind of do it whenever. If you can promote it, if you can let people know when your auctions are, if you have, followers in your store, you can send them a newsletter and say, hey, I got these auctions. They're going to end on this time, on this day. You can try to get some attention to it. But But yeah, I still think it's a matter of just, it's kind of like saying, oh, when should I do my fixed price listings? Should I do them? No, just list. You gotta, if you can't sell crap if you can't sell if you don't list. Max is right. After I thought about it, he said, yeah, it'll still go on the same day if you do a 7-day. You're right. But that's precisely why I just grab a stack and I'll list them randomly on different days at different times. So I should always have something kind of on auction. And then when it relists, I would just have those those as new auctions again. It's just counts as new listings. It's just a nice way to have a few other buying options out there for customers. I have a couple customers that only buy cards for me when I auction stuff. And even though I haven't done as many in the last few months, I'm just kind of getting back to it. As soon as I listed stuff for auction, boom, they're right back in it. So it's interesting to see that, there's just a buying pool for auctions versus buy it now. Make sure, like I said, you've got to protect your profit margin and stuff. So as long as you do that while you're selling at auction, no reason you can't sell that way. Scott says, I never thought of doing 99-cent auctions, 99-cent shipping for the low end. I might try that. Yeah, I mean, I try to maximize whatever eBay will give me because they definitely take enough from me. So if they're going to give me 500 free auctions a month, why not use them? If you can turn that into, let's say it's a bunch of cards you got laying around that probably aren't going to sell for a while that you got hardly any money in, let's say, 2-3 cents a card, and you can put 599-cent auctions up there and make $500 more a month. If all those auctions sold, like, that's pretty solid, and it doesn't really cost you anymore, and it doesn't take any more work because you're already printing labels and shipping and all that. So it's just one more thing to ship. And like I said, it's a cross seller. It's a candy bar at the checkout. It's a way to maybe get some auction buyers who don't look at your buy it now stuff. It might be a way to get your buy it now people to look at some auctions. It's an angle that still has validity, even though most sellers are on eBay now to do fixed listings. There's still that auction angle out there. I wasn't even going to tell you guys I was doing auctions because I don't know. I just wasn't gonna, and then I decided to tonight for whatever reason. Just because I think that was kind of going to be the main heat of the conversation tonight was just, hey, how do we get sales during this time when sales are supposed to be good and they're not working out for me? I've seen people in the Discord post, hey, sales were really good, and I've seen people post, I hardly sold anything over the holiday weekend. So clearly there's some things that are working and some things that aren't. So I thought it was another idea to throw out there to see if it gets anybody anything else.
I do a few limited auctions. I don't use them regularly, but if there's a lot of times I'll try to just move some bulk cards to just move it out or something. But I do struggle with paid shipping. And I know it's something I got to get over, but I struggle with it because my store hangs its hat on free shipping, not free shipping unless I do this. So I find I have this inner conflict when I want to charge shipping for something because I set my whole store up around free shipping. I advertise at times for free shipping. It's another business policy I got to manage then to flip between my paid shipping listings and free shipping listings. But I do understand, like, if you're going to sell something at 99 cents, you're going to be selling it at a loss unless you pass on the shipping cost. The reality is that buyer would be paying the same as a $1.99 card then, right? Well, a penny less. So it shouldn't really matter, but psychologically it seems to matter.
So, and that's why I wasn't going to share it, because that was sort of the secret sauce to the whole thing. But yeah, I think that's the key to it. Again, it's just one more thing you can do to try to get some of that business. Now, I don't do free shipping on everything like you. I charge shipping on my PSA cards. I charge shipping on thick, jersey cards that can't ship in a card saver. I charge the customer shipping for that. If they buy that card from anybody else, they're going to have to pay shipping on it. So, you're fitting right in there. Now, as far as policies, I made that pretty simple. I actually went in and created a new shipping policy, and I just called it auctions. So when I go in to list an item, I just choose the auctions shipping policy, and everything's right there. So it's 10 seconds of one additional thing to do, and then it's good to go. So that's what I did. And generally, when I'm listing my auctions, like I said, I'm going to grab this stack right here. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to throw these on auction. So as long as I list the first one with all my auction policies, auction settings, then I just do sell similar and I do the next one. So it's pretty simple. Yeah. So that's it. That's all I want to say about the auction stuff. I end auctions between 8 and 11. Don't think day of week matters anymore. I do 99 cents with 99 shipping and 25 extra shipping per auction one. Saves me from combining. Johnny on the spot. That's exactly how I do it too. And we didn't talk about this ahead of time. This is just we've got two great minds, on the same page here. Johnny does a pretty solid business. I look at Johnny's stuff once in a while, listen to his ideas and his experiences, and the guy knows what he's doing. So, and I'm not just saying that because he does his the same way I do. I truly believe that he understands kind of how the game plays. Now, it's interesting you say you have them end between 8 and 11 Eastern Standard Time. So maybe that does fit, because I've heard that the card activity on eBay is most prolific from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Is that what it is? Something like that. But I'm thinking maybe Central Time, so that might still fit with the 8 to 11. But yeah, so nights for sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna list auctions at night. I guess I could schedule them or something, but I don't do that. I just list them. If they sell, great. If they don't, I'll let them relist. Doesn't matter. I have 500 free listings. I don't really care. So let's say I list 500 cards and 400 sell. I'll just let the 100 keep relisting until eventually it would get a bid. And then if I have auctions available and I grab a stack and feel like it, throw another group of auctions out there. I'll let them keep running until they sell. That's how I'm going to do it. Max says, I know I'm quite a bit younger than most here, but my current job is the only one where eBay has been allowed on a computer. Well, there you go. Yeah, I know a lot of, workplaces block out certain websites and things like that. So, sorry guys, if you can't do it during the day, gotta find another way. You can get it on your phone. So just don't tell Charlie your lead, because he'll yell at you.
Yeah.
Alice's auctions are not what they used to be. It is very hard to be in the game of auction if you don't know what you are doing. Yeah, and again, for me, depends on what kind of cards you're auctioning. They're all just like $1.99 cards that I would list in the store and probably sit there for a little while anyway. Just get them out there so that they're moving and there's a countdown to expiration of when that deal is going to happen, and hopefully get some bids. I those 18 cards that I sold out of those like 75 that I listed, I don't know that any of those would have sold in the store had I listed them in the store, because none of them were like super quick cards that would pop, to a buyer kind of thing. Super sweet card, this Ozzie Smith first year Flair card, but that's probably going to sit in my store for a bit. It's probably not going to sell within a day or two versus an auction at 99 cents. Somebody probably bite on that right away and pick that one up, So that's how I see it. How do you combine shipping for multiple auctions? That could be labor intensive. So if I have a batch of auctions end and somebody has bought multiple cards, I simply send them an invoice and then just do reduced shipping. So let's say they won 3 cards, right? And I would do 99 cents for all 3 cards to ship. I would just hit send an invoice. It'll have all 3 cards listed there. It'll have the shipping of $2.98, $2.97, 96 cents. I mean, whatever. Whatever the shipping would be for 3 cards. And then I just put it says we're in the invoice where it says like shipping reduction or whatever. I would just wipe everything out to bring it back down to 99 cents and then hit send. And I'll send an invoice to the buyer. So it's really not that hard. Like I said, I've been doing auctions forever, so this has happened lots of times to me. Scott says he works at home, so he ships throughout the day here and there. So do I. So does Charlie. Charlie sits on eBay all day and then does shipping when he's working from home. That's what his job is.
Just thinking about your last comment about the invoicing, and that's a challenge I have too. Like most of the time when I'm making multiple transaction sales to the same buyer and on a work day and I'm in the office, I miss out on the opportunity to invoice them before they pay them all separate.
Yeah, well, if they pay them all separate, then you get extra shipping money. So bonus for you.
Yeah. And more eBay fees.
Yes, that is probably the bigger downside to that one.
Yeah.
But it's par for the course. And like I said, most of the time I'm listing different, very random stuff. It's not that likely that I'm going to have a buyer buy a bunch of different cards on auction. You're probably going to buy this Ozzie Smith card and then go in the store and buy a few different Ozzie Smith or Cardinals cards or whatever they're chasing for their collecting. I don't know. That's most likely the option or the outcome. What happens if you can't use a phone at work? Just think if you're doing the work to get a listing auction up, you'd want to maximize your end price. If it's no more work, maybe that's just me. Just think if you're doing the work to get a listing auction up, you'd want to maximize your end price if it's no more work. Yeah, I get what you're saying. He's saying as far as like choosing the best time to end an auction. I don't know. Like I said, most of mine would end at 99 cents anyway. They'll get a bid like on day 3. Somebody will just throw the 99 cents on there. It's not like people are in there sniping for the stuff I'm selling. Yeah, if it's super important to you to get like competing bidders on an auction, then yeah, you have to really be selective of an end date and time. Jenny says I have an auction template set up on eBay. It has my shipping policy built in, so it's automatic. That's basically what I have too. So I don't really use a template. I just have my template is basically a previous listing. So I'll go and do an auction that has sold for me, or even one that hasn't sold, I guess. And I just hit sell similar. So basically, it's just copying all those policies, and it's basically my template for my next listing. And I put everything in and I hit list. So I can't hear you. Charlie's on mute. Yeah, Charlie is very quiet. He's really quiet now because I can't hear him at all. I don't know what happened. You're muted.
Huh?
There you are.
Oh, now I'm back.
Yep, now I can hear you. There are
Nothing
20.
changed. I didn't even move my hands.
I don't know. There are 29 watching. Give a thumbs up to help the channel. Yeah, please. I appreciate that. We got up to like 36 viewers tonight, which is pretty solid
Yeah.
for us on a live. So we appreciate everybody being here. I know there's 1,000 things to do, like shovel snow or go outside and freeze to death or something like that. So we appreciate you choosing to spend your time with us for sure. So yeah, I wasn't really planning to talk about auction stuff, but it sort of popped in. Yeah, it was just one more thing to add to the playlist. And like I said, I don't think it's going to be a big part of what I'm doing, but I'll have the second store and eventually that will, that will become a premium store. So that'll have 500 free auctions too. So I'll be able to kind of double up and have 1,000 auctions at my disposal. If you go every month and you don't use them, that's a whole free selling tool that eBay provided to you for your money you're giving them each month. You're not doing anything with it. So I feel like a little something's being left on the table if you're not trying it, putting much out there. Once you list it, if it doesn't sell, it relists up to a certain number of times. If it doesn't sell, then at that point, it goes into your unsold category in your dashboard. And then I just go to the unsolds, and when I have free listings again, I just click and relist them. So you can list that auction for a year, 2 years if you want, until it sells. So it's really not that different than a buy it now. I suggest when you list the auction, you also give a buy it now option, because you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that are like, well, I don't want to wait for this thing. And I shouldn't say we all, I would say many people go, $2.99, that's a lot. Oops, I didn't mean to click on that. $2.99. I'm not paying that. I'll try to bid on the 99-cent one. There's a lot of people who are like, I don't care about $2.99. That's so small to me, and I can just hit buy it now and get this card sent to me, and not have to do the bid or do any of the other stuff. I'll just buy it. So it's almost like another store listing item for you then, with that auctioning as part of an angle. And if they hit buy it now, they still pay that 99-cent shipping. So you end up still getting that little bit of bonus money versus everything that you would do free shipping. For me, because I have a shipping on it. Now you can do all your listings with free shipping if you want. You could do $1.99 auctions with free shipping. But what I can tell you is, if you don't list an auction at 99 cents, it's tough on just plain, boring, basic stuff that doesn't have a lot of hobby and hype and things going on for it. It's tough to get the bid. So to me, 99 cents is a must for the listing.
There's this psychological buyer wall for any common cards listed more than 99 cents. They don't even stop to look at it.
Yep, I agree. Dan says, just put a new shelf up now for my to be listed stuff. It seems just as full as my done inventory. LOL. Yeah, your to be listed stuff can get pretty big. We talked about that in the last few weeks about, we'll just keep buying more and just keep, I try not to do that. I try to put out a bunch and then, have some room come in so I can pick up some more stuff. I don't want to just keep piling and piling and piling. Unless it's way too good a deal to be true, and you have to buy, then you have to buy. But even that big box buy I did at a show earlier this year, that wasn't something I was really after, but the dealer came at me with it, and it was such a good deal, I couldn't pass it up. And I've sold a ton of those cards, so it's played out well. But you buy 35,000 cards, that takes you a long time to list, for one, and it takes you a lot of space. You got to put all those cards somewhere in the meantime until they get into your inventory and you can start pulling them out of the bags and that. I pulled out 7 bags today, Charlie, that were small. Only had a couple cards in them.
Yeah.
So this was easily my biggest day of bags that had dwindled down to a point where they needed to be reassigned. So that was kind of a cool victory. It made me feel good that, like, hey, some of these are getting empty.
Dan, it's if you have a completionist mindset, which a lot of card collectors I think have that. I know I was one of them. Oh, I want to collect this whole set. I'm not happy until I collect the set, and then I'm going to step back and admire it for like 2 seconds and then start on something else. If you're going to have that kind of mindset as a card seller, you probably got to find a way to change that, because if you think about a retailer, I think back to my college days. One of my first jobs in college was in a grocery store, stocking shelves and stuff, and working in the back room. You weren't waiting until the shelves were empty to put more out there and get more back stock, right? Like,
Right.
you always, as a seller, you always want to have those items at the ready, behind the scenes, ready to go. So if you reach a point where you're like, all right, I have everything I have listed, you're very quickly going to be like, oh crap, I just sold 100 cards. I need to get something to backfill those, right? So it's, even though part of us wants to be like, I want that whole table of cards empty because I'm trying to get them all listed. You really don't in this business. You always want to have a continuous flow model, I guess I would say.
The only thing I would exercise caution about there is, well, first of all, capital. You don't want to tie up a bunch of capital and stuff that you're just not going to have time to list. But the other thing is, there is up and down markets to what we do. So if you had a bunch of Zach Wilson to list in 2020, you were probably or Mac Jones, you're probably doing okay. But you go list that Zach Wilson. Well, actually, that was 2021, wasn't it? Whatever year those guys came out, and now you're going to list them. You're probably not going to do very well on your Mac Jones and your Zach Wilson stuff. So you have to look at what's timely and what isn't, though. So if you've got, Saquon Barkley stuff, you list that right now. You got Derrick Henry stuff, you list that right now. You've got, some of these players that are hot. Sam Darnold stuff, is he going to be there? Is he going to be their starting quarterback of the future? No. So I think you want to make sure that you get stuff on there that you need to get on there right away too.
Sam Darnold, is anybody out there with eBay buying Sam Darnold?
Your audio's cutting out.
Maybe your audio's cutting
There you
out.
are. No, it's not. Stop it. I'm having no tech issues tonight, okay, buddy?
I'm the one
once,
on hotel internet, so.
For once, I know, yeah, the risky stuff. Let's see. Keith says, thanks for the content, guys. We all appreciate it. You are welcome. Thanks for joining us. So the auction is separate from the buy it nows. Yes and no. Yeah, it's a separate listing. So you get a certain number, depending on your store level, you get a certain number of listings for free a month, and you get a certain number of fixed listing or buy it now listings. My level, the premier store that I'm at, I get 500 free auction listings on top of my 60,000 fixed buy it now listing that I get in the store. So that's what I'm taking advantage of. Again, I shouldn't say now because I've done it before. I just haven't done it for a couple of months. Does Topps Holiday baseball cards sell good for you guys? It depends on what it is. The parallels do okay, where it's the candy cane bats and the antlers on the player and stuff like that. The bigger name players, of course, sell. If you've got Judge and Otani, and I sold a couple Bobby Witts, those do okay. The jersey cards are pretty good in those boxes. I got a Jackson Merrill game used rookie jersey. I got
Yeah.
like $18 for that. So I paid $28 for the whole box. I got more than half of it out of that one card, and it sold immediately. And then you also get the ornament box topper. My ornament box topper was Juan Soto, I think, and I sold that already too, and I got like $5 for that. So I got $20 back out of two cards that aren't even any of the cards in the packs, really.
Yeah, I was sold at how quickly I sold the Christopher Morel patch that I got because his market has really dropped since his rookie season.
Yeah, but he's a Cub, and there's always buyers for Cub cards.
They're not the wisest buyers.
Okay. How many playoff games did the Brewers win?
Not enough.
Did they win any more than the Cubs? I don't think so. Seasons ended the same.
Yeah, but the Cubs spend a lot more money to do it.
Right. I posted this, or did you post it? Oh, you posted it because we couldn't hear
I
you.
was saying when my audio allegedly cut out.
Allegedly.
So we were talking about Darnold, and I saw that as like the lowest card in SI for Kids this week because he's been a career backup basically. So
Yeah.
I don't expect this flash in the pan to last.
No, I wouldn't either. It depends. I don't think he's going to be like the starter for a long time or anything. But they got a good team. They're playing pretty well. He's playing pretty well. They could make a big playoff run. There's still some money in it, possibly.
In a way, he's similar to Brock Purdy.
Well, I mean, Brock Purdy's a better quarterback and more of a team leader, but yes, I get what you're saying as far as like style of player, and he's
Both
got
have
a good,
limited tools, and they're on really good teams.
yes, that's what I was just gonna say. I was gonna say the teams right now are fairly similar. The 49ers should be better than what they are, but injuries and just there's been a lot going on there that just hasn't allowed them to be who they traditionally are. But yeah, I don't think Darnold is somebody to invest in the future. I did have some Sports Illustrated for Kids Sam Darnold rookie cards because he was in an issue in 2020 or whenever that rookie year of his was. And as soon as he got the starting job earlier this year with the Vikings, those are good sellers. They all sold right away, and I was happy to sell them because it was like I didn't think I'd ever sell them. Right, that should be a card that would sit around, but then he had a new opportunity. 9 times out of 10, it's better to just take the money. Saquon Barkley stuff, people are like, oh, he's going to win the MVP, and then his cards will go up, so I'm going to hang on to him, and blah, blah, blah. First of all, there's no guarantee of that. Running backs don't traditionally win MVPs. Second of all, there's always injuries. There's, if they get a string of losses and don't make the playoffs, something like that, that's going to squash that. Third, he's a running back. There just isn't as much money in running backs as there is anything else. Unless your name is Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, or Walter Payton, or Jim Brown. I guess Jim Brown you can throw in there too. So I don't know. I think in most of those cases, if the player's doing well and get some money on, I had a whole bunch of Saquon stuff that I sold to a buyer yesterday or 2 days ago. I was happy to get it gone. So yeah, Darnold stuff is definitely a sell whenever you can get the money for it. Max says I still say buy as much as you can. Should always have capital to buy. Never swipe a card either. And that's just it. Not everybody can do that, and that was my point. Sometimes it's good to make sure you have capital for when something comes up that you really need to buy or really want to buy. So you don't feel pressure to be like, okay, well, I'm going to put this on a card because it's too good to buy, but I just bought $5,000 worth of inventory last week that I haven't even listed yet. I think many people need to be careful of that. I do believe, Max, that for you, that works perfect. You just keep buying and then just keep listening and selling and doing your shows and doing all that. That's great. I don't think that works for everyone. I can't hear you. Your audio's out again. Oh, geez, not my lane, Charlie. I don't have SI for kids. Yeah, SI for kids is sneaky good, as most of us have found out at this point. Max says disagree. Brewers made the playoffs. Cubs sat at home. Hey, it was my only argument. Okay, I gotta take what I can get. Still think he is the starter there in 2025 if he's under contract. I don't know. He might be. I think he'd start some games, and then McCarthy would come in, and that he'd end up being the backup. But I guess we'll find out. Purdy's decent, but his deficiencies are covered by a better team. Yeah, I would agree there. Purdy's not the typical 2024 quarterback. He's a smaller dude. He doesn't have a lot of height. He doesn't have a lot of. He has some escapability and some decent running abilities, but he's not Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or any of those guys. I see him as kind of. I don't know. I don't even really know who to compare him to. Maybe like an Aikman or something. Like, he just generally makes pretty good decisions. He works with the tools that he has to the best of his ability, and I don't know. And they win. I mean, this season, barring the season because of some struggles, but yeah, he's a decent game manager. He doesn't make generally very large mistakes. And when you're on a good team, that's really what you need, I think. The day he wins the MVP is the peak. Want to sell before the peak. Yeah, I think he is on a good path to win the MVP. But the hype is there right now. The money's there right now. He just had that amazing play where he jumped over somebody backwards, and he had 2 80-yard touchdown runs in a game. Like, it's there right now. I don't know how well Philadelphia is going to do in the playoffs. It feels like sell. So I've been very happy to sell a bunch of my Saquon stuff. I had a bunch of Saquon rookies too that I got really cheap. I bought some at the National out of like quarter and 50-cent boxes, and I think I sold all but one of them already. So happy to let them go. Key to doing this for a living is always having liquid capital to buy whenever a good deal is presented to you. Yes, that is the ideal position. I would agree. He's back. I don't know what that means. Who?
Am I back?
Oh, you're back. Is that what he's talking about?
I don't know.
Purdy barely cracks top 10, right? Yeah, I'd say he's like right on that borderline of top 10, maybe 9 or 10 would be a decent spot for him. Out of 30 quarterbacks, it's not terrible. And again, he plays on a team that is a team. Like, it's not all about the quarterback there. So I think that's an okay spot.
What was it Doug Gottlieb said last season? I think he said he could name 15 other quarterbacks that could step in with the 49ers and win just as much.
Okay. I mean, that's a possibility, sure.
I'd like to see a WAR wins above replacement stat for football like they do in baseball.
I can tell you he didn't play in that game against Green Bay, and that was the worst game I've seen San Francisco play in like 25 years.
It was a difference maker.
So whatever quarterback came in during that game sure didn't hold up what Purdy would normally be able to hold up. So I think it's easy to say something like that, but I mean, Rodgers is a Hall of Fame quarterback, right? What if Rodgers played for the 49ers right now? Would they be winning more games? I don't know that they would. He's I mean, arguably he's got more talent around him with the Jets than the 49ers have right now. With injuries.
Yeah. Looks
You
like
know, I don't
CMC is
know.
out again.
Yeah, exactly. Haven't won anything yet. Alex Smith is a good comp. Maybe.
Mm.
I think Alex Smith had a better arm, but I don't think he was quite as good a team manager, leader. You know, I don't know. Yeah, I think they're a little bit different that way. But Joe says I hear Craig T. Nelson will sing the national anthem at the Green Bay regular season finale.
I think you
Oh
mean
boy,
coach.
yeah, Coach Craig T. Nelson. Uh, we don't need that. I'm not sure why that's happening. Lindsey Sterling was just here doing a halftime show. She did the halftime show for the Thanksgiving game.
And you would hardly even know it because she hardly got
Yeah.
any time.
Well, I guess that's kind of on her though too. She didn't want them to show a bunch of it on TV due to like it's her live show normally kind of thing. I don't know.
I had never heard of her before, so it really
Who
didn't bother
knows?
me.
Really?
Yeah, never heard of her. Still don't
Oh,
know
that's
who she is.
really?
No idea.
She's been around forever. She's a hell of a dancer, and she plays an electronic violin. Does a lot of
Two
like
things I
modern.
spend no time looking for.
Well, yeah, but you could use some culture, Charlie. You could use some culture. What about golf cards? Are they good to sell? I barely see them on eBay unless they are slab. Um, yeah, if you can find them. I don't find a ton of golf cards. I tend to stick to them, kind of like NASCAR. I tend to stick to the major names. Unless it's Sports Illustrated for kids, I'll buy. Especially if they're cheap enough, I'll buy pretty much any golfer. Sold quite a few, but yeah. Otherwise, like if it's SP or Upper Deck, I try to stick with, um, obviously Tiger and
Nicholas,
Nicholas and
Annika Sorenstam.
yeah, some of those bigger names. But if any depending on what price you can get stuff for, you can buy just about anything and resell it. I sell like unused, redemption cards and stuff like that, and you can get decent money for them. You can sell pretty much anything. Smith was known as one of the best locker room QBs in the game when he played. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to say you've got a team to manage next week, you're the new GM, and you can choose between Alex Smith and Brock Purdy, I would take Smith without a second thought.
Well, it depends on what you need out of the quarterback for play, though, too, right?
No, I don't think they're even that close. I think Smith was a better pro quarterback all around.
Yeah, because they never really won much when he was there.
He was successful with a couple of different teams. He just didn't have that playoff success.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't think he ever made it to a Super Bowl, right?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Let's see. Purdy's real card calling is he's Mr. Irrelevant who made himself relevant. That is a very good point. Yes, that does. It's kind of like the number one pick. Even if he struggles, he always has some capital because he was the number one pick. It's kind of plays to the advantage to go to the reverse too. Like Purdy automatically gets extra credit because he was the last pick.
You're not supposed to matter,
so
so it's super exciting that you do.
Yeah, exactly. Max says Smith had a better career. That's true. Smith had a better career in Kansas City. That's a good point. I kind of forgot about his Kansas City time, but yeah, I remember him being pretty decent there. He had a bunch of injury too, though, didn't he? He struggled with injuries for a couple of his later years, at least. I remember.
didn't feel like he was injury prone by any means.
No, no,
Like typical NFL quarterback injuries. Yeah,
yeah,
I always felt he didn't get the respect he probably deserved for his play because it was not spectacular. You know what I mean? There's
yeah, yeah.
certain players that are super solid, but not those superstars, and they tend to go under the radar because they're not out there pimping themselves in the media all the time either.
Well, and he didn't get the wins. He didn't get the postseason wins. That pretty much shuts
Yeah.
you down there. You know, if you're not winning playoff games, you're not. There's a lot of people who don't watch any football except for the Super Bowl. So
Yeah. It's true.
if you never get there and you're not like some social media, you know, celebrity type thing that goes along with it, it's pretty tough for anybody to know who you are. Granted, he was kind of around before social media anyway, but still. Max's leg cost him his career. Yeah, I remember late in Kansas City when they had a pretty good team and they were winning a lot of games. He had couple of big injury problems
Yeah,
where they
but
could have maybe.
he had a number of good years before he had that major injury that then became a problem. I mean, he played with the 49ers 2005 to 2012, so 7 years there, and then the Chiefs another 4 years and the
Yeah,
Redskins
yeah,
2 more years.
yeah, that sounds right. Huh. Yeah, I don't know how we came all the way around to Alex Smith, but yeah, fun topic. Keith likes Baker Mayfield. Dude is just built different. He's different, all right.
He is different.
I like watching him play too. Yeah, I see some. He kind of reminds me of like Ryan Fitzpatrick or one of those types of quarterbacks where there's a lot of personality in his play, um, good or bad. I mean, sometimes it buries him too, but yeah, it's kind of fun to watch him have some success. If you're queasy, don't look up his leg and what it looks like now. I won't, but I did see Deion Sanders open surgery. Did you see that one on his leg?
No.
Oh my God. Basically, his entire, can't remember if it's the left or the right, not relevant, but basically from the top of the calf all the way down, he basically has nothing left of his leg. All the
Oh,
muscles
really?
been cut out, everything. Yeah. Um, and Dion he had a series or a show or whatever on some streaming service, and I watched it, and they showed like some of his treatment, and they have to go in and like take all this stuff out, and yeah, it's not good. Um, so I'm not sure what Dion did, but yeah, I think if you're just that physically active, you just break yourself down so fast. It's like soccer. I don't see it unless it's the World Cup. Eh? There's a lot of viewers of that too. Leg injury ended his career. Yeah, that's what I remember about it too. Was a big injury took him out. Baker reminds me of Favre. Oh, that's not a bad thing. Favre was very entertaining to watch. Not afraid. Doesn't have a big toe either, does he? No. Yes, I believe Dion's big toe is missing too. That might have been due to like he got gangrenous or something from some kind of infection, I think. Excuse me. Yeah. Um, trying to think of Lindsey Sterling. Max didn't know who Lindsey Sterling was either. So check it out. Watch a little video on her. I think you might actually be more entertained than what you'd think. She's pretty talented. She's a very unique artist. Nobody else really does what she does. So the music's more like fantasy type stuff, kind of like a Dream Theater or something like that. So she has orchestral stuff in the background, and she plays all this fancy violin stuff while she does all these dances and flips and whatever.
All I want to hear is Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Nope, she doesn't do that one. Well, I'm sure she does, but it's not what she's known for.
When my
Yeah,
son was
pretty talented.
in violin class for a few years in grade school, he would come home and I would say, "Did you learn Devil Went Down to Georgia yet?" And he'd be like, "No." And I said, "All right, then this conversation's done."
Then it doesn't matter. Then it doesn't matter. All right, folks, we're getting to the 10:10 mark here, Central Standard Time, so I think we're going to fold it up. Anything you want to add, Charlie?
Bowman Draft Baseball's out with that John Elway
Ooh,
promotion. Are you thinking about
I
getting
heard
any?
about that. I might. I've had some other John Elway baseball cards in the past and they've done pretty well for me, so yeah, I might jump in on that. We'll see. That sounds like it could be fun. It's kind of the play like, Brady being in it in baseball, right? Same thing. So
Yeah.
it's a Stanford card, I presume, right?
No, I
Stanford
believe
uniform.
it's his Yankees card from the draft.
Oh, see, that's even
And
better.
and he has a bunch of variations where he's inscribed different things.
Okay.
Like I
Yeah, I'll
saw one,
check
it
that out.
said
Sounds interesting.
Yankees. What did it say? Yankees greater than Colts or something like
Okay.
that.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Um, yeah, well, with that, thanks everybody for watching. If you're watching this recorded, we appreciate you. If you can, try to join us live Wednesdays, 8 Central Standard Time. Don't forget the Goat Show, Green Bay Card Show at the Riverside Ballroom is coming on January 12th. Be there or be square. Come say hi to me and Charlie, and of course, Stuart will be there as well. There he is. Oh, your sound cut out. Your sound cut out right before you
Ah,
played the goat.
how
Now it's
can
back.
that possibly be?
I don't know. Do it. It cut out again.
It
I
must
wonder if
not
it's
like Stu's voice.
I wonder if it's a volume thing. If it gets too loud, it doesn't. Yeah, it cut out again. That's weird.
It
Cuts out
must
only
think
when Stu's
it's
on.
I maybe have what is that called? Noise suppression on or something like that.
Yeah, that must be it. You got to shut up the goat somehow. I guess he's being what do you call that? Censored. He's being censored. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you all next week. Thanks again, like I said, so much for watching. Please give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Share it with someone if you think they would enjoy it as well. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Charlie's channel, JC3 Cards and Collectibles. He does the liquidity list. You got another one in the works there, Charlie?
I just put a football one out earlier this week.
Yep,
So
I saw that.
gotta decide if I want to do a special on the next one, maybe do one outside of the big three or go right back to baseball.
Sport.
Non-sport. Well, that's kind of hard to do a top 10 on non-sport overall. We'd have to narrow it down to something in non-sport.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Okay, okay. That's
Have
a
you
pretty
seen
good suggestion.
the new show? It's actually good.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you're gonna try it out because I know you don't care for a lot of the newer stuff.
No, I'm kind of old school with my Star Wars, but I watched it the first 2 episodes today. A bunch of my friends got to go to like premiere showings and stuff. I used to do all that Star Wars stuff,
Yeah.
and I respect their opinions more than the general public as far as things that are good and things that are not so good. And they had pretty good reviews of it, so I thought I'd give it a shot today, and I did really like it. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. Now, the first 2 episodes of anything can be good. Can they get a whole season out of it and have it stay quality? We'll find out. But the kids that are in it are pretty good, and it's kind of Goonies like, modern Goonies type
Okay.
story, action adventure, and they're trying to chase something and learn about their past, and I don't know. It's but check it out. Check it out. That's my
All right, I
promo for
will.
the Star Wars show. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Appreciate you. Anything else?
Peace out. Take care of each other.
Don't forget, can't sell what you don't list. We'll see you again soon.